This episode of the Acts of Geekery Podcast is brought to you by the Roxxon Oil Corporation. We care about our planet. Well, howdy, and welcome back to the Acts of Geekery Podcast. My name's Corey, and this is my brother Scott.
Yeah, my name's Scott.
Woo! Hello, and welcome to the Acts of Geekery Podcast. It is the podcast that brings you all the geeky things in the world of geekdom, episode 44.
The Hick episode, apparently.
I gotta keep it fresh for me, mostly, not for the people watching. Listening.
They don't listen to us. No.
They don't listen to us because we're normal, Scott.
Right. That's true. We're anything but normal.
They listen to us because we bring them the news.
Yes, it's the apocalypse, all right. I always thought I'd have a hand in it.
It's the news.
Corey, did you have a hand in the apocalypse?
I always have a hand in every apocalypse. Whether it's by destroying the oceans or causing a zombie plague.
Moving the sun close to the earth or vice versa.
Yep. Moving the Earth close to the sun. Okay. But before we talk about apocalypse or something similar to apocalypse,
let's talk about someone who ruins movies instead. For our birthdays.
Yeah, it is George Lucas's birthday on the 14th of May. He is 71.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's still alive. Actually, that's mean.
He brought us the first three, Scott.
That's true. But he really messed up.
He didn't.
You could see a twinkle of his craziness from Return of the Jedi.
I like the Ewoks.
I know, but you watched them when you were like 8, so that's why.
Exactly.
Any normal person was like, "Oh, those are stupid."
Well, I don't want to be normal then. Normal's dumb.
We're anything but normal again. Anyways, 71 years old on the 14th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you for selling your Star Wars rights to Disney.
We really appreciate it.
Every geek in the world
That's such a great birthday present to give to the world.
Yeah. We're supposed to give you a birthday present, not you give us a birthday present.
No, don't tell him. He'll want presents.
I'll give him a room full of Jar Binks.
He would love that.
He probably would. He probably dreams about it. He probably has Jar Binks pajamas that he goes to bed in every night.
His Jar Binks Underoos.
And then he has a Jar Binks lamp where Jar Jar's eyes light up.
His alarm clock, it goes, Misa, Misa, Misa.
Time to wake up.
Underoos. I just like that word.
Okay.
Let's talk about something apocalyptic, or as some people like to call it,
doomsday.
Yeah, doomsday. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that, and this is spoilers for Batman v Superman, so
yep.
And we kind of, I mean, you can pretty much piece it together by this point that the rumor is that Doomsday is going to appear in the movie.
Yeah, and he'll be something that either Lex has cooked up in a lab or that he has found, and I don't know, an alien that he's...
I hope it's found.
I hope so, too, because that would stick a lot more closer to the comics.
Yeah. So Doomsday, for those of you who don't know, is a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone. He basically...
Every time he dies, he
comes back.
He can regrow
tougher.
himself, yeah.
And he's basically the perfect killing machine. And that gets sent after Superman, and he is the main bad guy for the Death of Superman comic.
We also find out in the same article that we were referencing here that the scene where Batman says, "Do you bleed? You will," is actually more of a dream sequence. So, unfortunately, that's probably not going to be an actual Batsuit fight.
That's such a cop-out.
I know. It was all a dream. The whole movie was a dream.
I am not looking forward to this movie anymore.
It was all...
I'm sorry. That is literally like the last straw. I'm not looking forward to it.
Dream.
He wakes up, that was weird. I better go save the ocean now.
Yep. And surf a little.
Yeah.
Because he's a surfer now.
We also got a good look at the... like a promo art for Wonder Woman in kind of just, it's not really Gal Gadot.
No, it's definitely not Gal Gadot.
It's a digital rendering of Wonder Woman doing like her gauntlets in front of her pose.
It's art. It's a drawing.
It looks pretty cool.
It does look cool. And of course, anything we talk about, by the way, that is a picture or a photograph, we will post those up on Facebook over this week as the week goes on. But this is her kind of, she's crouched down. She's got her arms crossed in front of her like she's blocking bullets like she does in the shows and stuff.
Yeah. And I don't think I don't think my problem ever was her costume. She looks fantastic.
Yeah,
the
I think the
costume
costume's
rendering,
fine.
yeah, it looks kind of like Xena because it's all muted and everything like
Yeah.
that. But I'm not really. That's never the problem with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. And I unfortunately I have to say it. Even though I'm hopeful that she'll do well, I kind of agree that she does not have the body for it.
Yeah, I don't think she
Which
doesn't look the
but,
part.
You know,
to me.
I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt and see where they go with it because
She could be
women
good at
who
it.
are muscly and are bodybuilders are not necessarily good actresses.
Yeah, we know that.
Scott and I have talked at length about Ronda Rousey and just kind of how terrible she is.
Okay, so Gina Carano, she's in quite a few things. And
She's going to be in the Deadpool movie.
She's going to be in the Deadpool movie. And no, she is not a good actress, but she knows that, and whoever casts her usually knows that. And so they don't give her a lot of talking to do. They pretty much just say, go punch that.
Yeah, go look tough.
Okay, and she can do that. She, you know.
Ronda Rousey, people haven't figured that out with her yet.
Oh, in Furious 7,
Yeah.
her character was horrible. Horrible. And anyone, if you want to argue with me, I will argue up and down that she is a terrible actor.
Yeah.
She should not be given screen time. I don't think she's very pretty, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. Everyone thinks she's this gorgeous woman, and I look at her and I'm like, no, not doesn't really do anything for me.
And you are notorious for liking muscly women.
Oh yeah, I love fit women.
Yeah.
She just doesn't do anything. And then we saw her today in a trailer
For Entourage.
for the Entourage movie, and she plays herself. And the only thing she says, or first thing she says, was, "Didn't you used to be kind of fat?" And that's how she says it. That's exactly how she says it.
That's worse than
And-
It's
and
the
she's-
Dust Kid.
And she's not trying to be ironic and be a Valley girl. That's really her voice, guys.
Yeah.
And it is terrible.
Yeah. Because, Entourage, they tell you, play your character. Play you,
That movie does not need to be made. I watched the whole TV series. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was the greatest TV show ever or anything, but I enjoyed it. I had fun, and it ended, and I was like, cool, it's ended. All right, should be done.
Yeah, all right.
No, I hope I never hear from them again.
And you are.
And now we're getting a whole movie, guys.
Speaking of first looks, though,
Yeah.
we got our first look at Killer Croc full body.
Yeah, the gentleman playing him, we're sorry, we cannot say your name. We've tried many...
Mustafa?
No.
No. What is it?
I can't remember. I can't even remember, like...
Adwala
Agbaje?
Akinoe Agbaji.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, he looks more like the first iteration of Killer Croc, where
Yeah,
he's
he
not
looks-
actually a lizard. He's just got hard skin, and
He's
it gives him
actually
extra strength.
like a
and
circus
stuff.
freak, where he's just got the kind of the reptile skin.
Yeah. Although this is all practical effects, and the picture that you have up right now, he looks goofy.
Yeah.
To me, that looks goofy. Everything up to his head looks great, and then you get to his head, and I'm like,
And I think that's just what you're gonna get. Honestly,
we'll see. I have a feeling that the Suicide Squad trailer is going to be like the Deadpool, or not trailer, the movie is going to be like the Deadpool movie, where it knows it's not going to take itself too seriously, and so it's going to have a lot of fun with this kind of stuff.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to try to be.
I think
be
Warner
serious?
Brothers is gonna be telling them stick with the formula that we think works and be the Dark Knight.
Okay.
Which is how Batman v Superman's going to go, and that's why I don't have much faith in DC in DC movies right now.
I am so scared that movie's just going to tank, and we're going to lose all of our DC movies coming out.
It's just, I don't know.
I don't get it.
It's not going to tank. It's Batman v Superman. It's going to make a lot of money, but it won't. I don't think.
But it won't have a critical. It won't have critical success, which is how they also rate their whether or not they're successful. And my issue is Warner Brothers, you make fantastic animated movies.
Yeah.
Just great animated. I mean, Marvel can't even come close to the animated movies and TV shows that you can do. Why can't you make a live action movie that good or anything close?
Exactly.
To that? I don't get it.
I really don't know.
I don't know.
We also got another first look, and we're getting like a lot of them this week.
Of a very unknown villain.
I actually like him. If anybody remembers from Winter Soldier, the gentleman,
He's part of like the
Cap's like strike team and ends up
he's his own
betraying
strike
him.
team. And he fights Falcon
At the end.
before the helicopter
He's
crashes.
actually a comic book character known as Crossbones, who is a notorious terrorist who brainwashes the daughter of Red Skull at one point. That's his big storyline.
Interesting.
And we get our first look at him as Crossbones in Captain America's Civil War.
Because at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier, he's still alive, but he's all burnt up and stuff. So
now he's in kind of a full costume with the Crossbones look, and he looks more
great.
or less like Crossbones does in the comics, as far as I've seen him. So
yeah,
I'm excited. That's going to be awesome.
Who plays him again? Frank Grillo.
Yeah,
Frank Grillo plays him.
Frank Gorilla.
Frank Gorilla did a good job. I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah. I mean, you never really looked at him and was like, oh, he's a supervillain, but now, maybe he can be.
Yeah, I mean, he's ticked off at Cap for crashing a helicopter
Plus
or
he's
helicarrier
Hydra,
into him. That's true. He was part of Hydra. So,
we also have some exciting news, in my opinion, that Fox is working on a new Mutants movie in addition to their Mutants lineup.
Now, the way you say this could mean exciting or not exciting. A new Mutants movie, just okay.
Like
another movie,
yeah.
Great. Or a movie about the New Mutants, which is a superhero
mm-hmm.
team.
And
that's what you mean, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Because when I read the title, you wrote down for us, I was like, oh, another one.
But it's basically the mutants that aren't the top tier.
That aren't X-Men.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say. They're not X-Men.
They're not the X-Men. They're kind of just like Magic, which is Colossus's sister.
A very popular mutant online.
Yeah. I can't really... There's not many others that I know. Sunspot
Cannonball,
is one of them.
Sunspot, Warlock,
Cypher, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Cannonball was part of the
Avengers.
team. Well, yeah, and he was part of the team that Speedball was on as well, I believe, that wrecked the city.
The New Warriors?
Yeah, wasn't he part of New Warriors?
Maybe.
I could be totally wrong. I probably am.
Scott, do you like Luc Besson?
So he has done The Fifth Element, which fantastic movie.
That is a great movie.
Corey's never seen it, but I need to get you to see it.
What I've seen of it's been good.
Yeah, and he's also done the most recent one he did was Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, and she's a person that she carries she gets her stomach cut open. Spoilers, stomach cut open, and a bag of drugs gets pushed into her, so she can transport it across in a plane from Japan or China to the U.S. Well, on her way to the airport, she gets captured by like a rival gang that wants this drug or something.
I think so.
And they end up like beating her up and kicking her in the stomach a bunch, and it breaks the capsules loose. And this new type of drug interacts with her system and gives her all these mental capabilities. So
kind of like Limitless for women.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much exactly that. The first half of the movie's I think it's really good. The second half, or the third act, I guess is what you would call it,
Gets a little weird.
It gets really weird.
But I think it's still fine. Well, Luc Besson is, like you said, he's known for The Fifth Element. He's good at kind of his epic sci-fis. And he's actually announced that he's doing a new one. His latest sci-fi epic is going to be called Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Now, what I've read about this is that it's kind of a detective.
What is it? Valerian?
Yeah,
like with a V.
Valerian.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't hear you there. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like a detective noir style.
Okay,
where kind of like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, kind of thing.
Is it going to be that art style? Do we know? Probably not yet.
No, probably it's a movie, so I don't know what it's going to be going on there.
In City of 1,000 Planets.
It's saga, blah blah blah. It's kind of. Yeah, so it's about Valerian and his sharp-witted, sharp-tongued partner, Laureline, and their adventures set against visually stunning backgrounds, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a sci-fi epic.
Cool. I hope it does good, and I hope it's as good as The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Because I love big sci-fi epics like that. And I like The Fifth Element, and I'm glad that they're not doing any kind of like sequel or remake of it. I don't think it needs it.
Yeah.
That's one of those. I'm in the camp of don't remake The Fifth Element because it's nearly perfect the way it is.
Just maybe with Chris Tucker out of it.
No, even that part. Everyone hates his character, but he does a perfect job at it.
Yeah.
He plays this goofy, aloof, fanciful
character that you don't want to like.
What do they call that? Like a host for some kind of a reality show.
A MC.
Yeah. Yeah. He plays a Ryan, what's his name from
Seacrest?
Seacrest? Yeah, he plays a future version of that, and he's great at it. Everyone hates it because he's annoying and he's loud and he screams, and I'm like, that's totally the character that he was chosen
And that's
for.
totally Chris Tucker.
And I'm in the same camp as the people that didn't want RoboCop to be remade.
Yeah.
I was not in that camp at that time because I didn't really care that much. I liked RoboCop, but I didn't think it was the greatest movie ever, and it was perfect. I look at it and I'm like, ugh.
Now you're just
Ed
like,
209,
yes, please.
Ed 209, how do you defeat a giant robot? Put a stair in front of him.
Exactly.
And apparently he can't go downstairs. So.
Nope.
Yeah.
So Simon Pegg's in trouble.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah.
Don't worry, he didn't kill anybody.
And he's not in trouble like
No.
he's going to get fined or
No.
anything.
But he was talking with an interviewer, and they were talking about his role in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. Because he was on set for something, and they asked, well, are you playing a stormtrooper? And he said,
Star
no.
Trek? You mean Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Don't mix those.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, the geeks will have your head.
Death to Corey. Death to Corey.
Favorite character in Star Trek? Chewbacca.
But he said, no, I'm not playing a stormtrooper. I think Daniel Craig was one. Oh, crap, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
So apparently Daniel Craig is playing a stormtrooper.
Well, and we've talked about this before. All these, quote, leaks that we hear.
Yeah.
Who knows if they're really leaks? Maybe they said in an interview, if they ask you about stormtroopers, mention Daniel Craig. You know, like, we don't know. We don't know how they're going to do this. It'll go viral and we'll get lots of hits.
Yeah.
You know, it's these people in suits that are like, we need to make a viral video. And they don't understand that videos, they go viral on their own. They don't
Exactly.
if
You can't create one.
People have tried. How many like commercials have tried to do crazy things and to make a viral video, and you know they're okay, but they're not.
Yeah, they don't
They're
go.
not-
They don't go
nuts.
amazing.
Yeah, they don't go nuts like OK Go's treadmill video.
Yeah.
You know, and they made that just as a music video.
And OK Go has been forced to make music videos like that ever since. By the way.
Yeah. It worked once. Do it again.
Yep. More first look stuff.
Okay.
Actually, sorry. I want to talk a little bit more about Daniel Craig. He could just be doing a cameo stormtrooper, moving like one of the extras. So how the heck are you going to know which one he is?
I would, if I was a actor and I was a famous actor, I would want to play a stormtrooper, but I want to be like, never take my helmet off. But credit me in the credits as
Stormtrooper
Scott
number
Davis,
628.
Stormtrooper number 2216.
Yeah.
I think that'd be hilarious. Every Hollywood actor, and I wouldn't even make them pay me. I'd just be like, I'll just be on set for a few minutes.
Walk on and be like, hey,
Let me get shot.
Cameo?
Can I get shot with a laser, please?
Oh, can I miss? Can I miss like 5 times?
Can I miss? Can I shoot? Yeah, can I shoot at the hero and miss a whole bunch?
Well, you want to be a stormtrooper, so yes.
Yes. Okay.
So, Aquaman getting a new look for the comic book.
One of my favorite characters. Everyone thinks he's so stupid, but he's really not. He's so awesome.
Guys, like him already, please.
I hope that is one good thing that DC's doing. I love the new look of Aquaman. I think that
Jason Momoa's got a good.
I think that they're gonna make him cool again.
Yep.
I hope so.
And this new comic book look is fantastic.
That's junktastic, is what that is.
Yeah, there is a big junk there.
Yeah. I get that you want to draw anatomically correct characters, but look, every single picture.
They're just trying to say something about Aquaman.
He's got moose knuckle
jeez.
in one of them. No, he really does.
I know.
Sorry. I had to. Whoever they got drawing this, maybe it's a girl and she just really likes drawing Aquaman. I don't know.
Knuckle.
Oh, octopus knuckle.
Oh, jeez. They don't have any. It's all tendrils.
Exactly. He is
fine.
Atlantean, so
I have no problem.
yeah, he's got a new top. His top part, instead of being green like normal, or sorry, gold,
It's kind of an
armory black and stuff.
Gray.
So yep.
And then he's got new pants on and everything. Well, like I said, we'll post it to the Facebook page. You can take a look at it if you want.
Absolutely.
So
Sad news.
no.
Oh, not really sad.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
never mind.
Sad
I
news.
was thinking about
You're
something
going
else.
ahead.
I'm going way ahead.
You put this article up without writing that it was for Legos, and so I was like, "What the heck's going on?" So we're talking about Lego Dimensions.
Yeah, well, we mentioned it a couple podcasts ago.
The Skyrim, or not Skyrim, Skylanders version for Lego.
And
Lego
the
version.
Disney Infinity.
Yeah. And we were talking about how they weren't going to have a lot of things. They weren't going to have a lot of, I mean, like, what properties can you do that can't be done already in Infinity and everything?
And we mentioned a couple of them. We mentioned a few that we were like, well, maybe this and this and
we
this.
were surprised to see Wizard of Oz in Dimensions.
Yeah.
Well, hold on to your butts because they're doing things like Portal 2.
Which I love the figures for Portal 2.
Doctor Who.
It's got a companion cube, of course.
Oh, I didn't know that was a companion
cube. Lego.
And a girl with a portal gun.
Yes.
Doctor Who, you get the Peter Capaldi Doctor, the TARDIS, and K9. Let's see.
Yeah, and then they got Back to the Future with the DeLorean.
And
Marty McFly with a guitar.
And the hoverboard. They got the Simpsons, you get Homer's car, and a TV set. Jurassic World's coming out with some stuff. Scooby-Doo, they got the Mystery Machine, Scooby and Shaggy, and
bunch of food. I think that's a sandwich.
I think that's either a sandwich or a ghost.
I don't know. Let's pull the top off of it and see if it's Old Man Withers.
It looks like we got some Ninjago stuff, some Lord of the Rings stuff. We've got.
There's a lot like Unikitty. You got Krusty the Clown. I think what I should say is back when we were talking about it, we were like, man, it kind of sucks that they're not going to be able to use Marvel.
Well, I think they still can.
Because it's a Lego thing. That's mine.
Because,
that's true.
I mean, they might be able to. They can use, but then again, DC, they got permission. So, I don't know.
They might be able to because Disney Infinity, you're playing characters that they look like the characters in the comics. Yeah. And Lego, you're going to be playing Lego versions of those characters. So they might be able to. I would be cool with them putting in like, they can't do Star Trek because I think that Mega Bloks has Star Trek as their rights ownership.
Yeah, I think Mega Block got that and scooped that one up. But
like Star Wars. Lego does Star Wars. Yeah, they could do Star Wars.
Well, then
stuff.
Again, that's owned by Disney now too.
Like I said, they would have to get permission from Disney, which I don't know if they're
Doctor Who Legos. I mean, that's a whole new fandom that they haven't even tapped into yet.
Doctor Who, Back to the Future, Simpsons. We saw Lord of the Rings. We saw Wizard of Oz, Harry Potter. I mean, Lego has pretty much everything.
It's true.
They've licensed almost everything so far. I don't know if I'll get the Lego Dimensions game. I really like the Disney Infinity figures because I like the way the figures look. The Lego ones are they're Lego figs. Sorry. I love Legos and I played with them for my entire childhood and I absolutely love them. I just don't care about them that much anymore. Yeah. They're too expensive. I don't really have anywhere to display Lego stuff.
Yeah, Legos, I mean, they kind of don't look good on display for what you have.
Well, even if I didn't have, even if I was like I would have to have all Lego. I don't like mixing Lego in with my other stuff.
Yeah.
I can mix in action figures with statues, with collectibles, with
Funko,
with amoebas, with, because they all kind of look the same. They're all the same sort of thing. Lego's totally different.
Exactly.
I have to have a whole Lego room.
I would not be opposed to that. Honey, I'm sorry. We got to get a Lego room for the house.
Yeah, I have to. Just have to.
Yep. So Miles Teller is
from one of the guys from Fantastic Four.
He's Mr. Fantastic.
Yep. Okay.
He is a real life superhero because him and his wife were at the beach, and that makes him a superhero.
And he was stretching all over the place.
Yep. They actually saw a pregnant woman being carried out in like the waves, and they rushed out and saved her.
Oh, cool!
Saved her life.
Cool.
So Miles Teller, congratulations! You're an actual superhero now.
Yay! Now let's hope that they can make a good movie.
You know what? We saw the trailer again today. And I got pretty excited for it.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
You want to talk about the guy in this right behind us?
We're at the movie theater, and they get done with this trailer of the most recent Fantastic Four trailer. Or, I mean, Fant 4 stick. I don't know. It's some kind of deodorant. And he goes, now that Marvel's owned by Disney, they have to reboot everything, don't they? And I was like, oh.
You wanted to turn around in the theater and be like,
actually,
excuse me.
Actually,
you are wearing your glasses today.
I am. I can push my glasses up and be like, actually, Fantastic Four is owned by Sony.
Fox.
It's owned by Fox, not Sony or Marvel. But
then snap your fingers and
do a geek snap, really?
Yeah, a geek snap.
Yeah, huh? So yeah, he said that, and I was like, "Oh, I got a fan." Corey, guess what he just said? He just said this. And Corey goes, oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
And I just started laughing.
But that brings up a really good point. People don't realize that.
Yeah,
they see the word Marvel at the beginning of Fantastic Four and Fox's Fox's X-Men and Sony's.
And they're gonna be like,
Spider-Man.
"When's Wolverine gonna be part of the Avengers?"
Well, and that's if they're really into the stuff, they'll know that it's different things. But if they're not, they don't realize that.
No.
That Marvel doesn't own the rights, and that's why they're not part of the cinematic universe. And so when they go out, it's actually detrimental to Marvel. When they go out and see a movie by Fox or Sony, like Amazing Spider-Man 2, that does not very good, that reflects badly on Marvel.
It brings all the other superhero movies down.
Yeah, because people go out and see that, and they're like, oh, that sucks. Why would I go see another Marvel movie? Lame. Oh, they're going to screw this one up again, too.
Damn you, Fox.
Which is unfortunate, because they need to say at the end or even at the beginning, like, all rights to X-Men are not owned by Marvel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be hard for them to do that.
You know what's not hard to do, but we might be getting... That was a bad segue.
That was a very bad segue.
We might be getting an Iron Giant re-release in theaters.
So 15 years ago, or 16 years ago, actually, last year was the 15th anniversary, Brad Bird,
yes,
director of that and a couple other things.
The Incredibles. And Mission Impossible,
some
Ghost Protocol.
Some other fantastic movies.
Tomorrowland.
Yes, he's a great director.
Yep.
He made this little animated movie called The Iron Giant, set in kind of like 1950s, 1960s, Cold War era.
I believe the head of Pixar had a hand in it too. What was it? What's his name?
Probably. But anyways.
Keep going.
But anyways, he created this movie called The Iron Giant, a little small animated one. If you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it.
It is fantastic.
Oh my gosh. It's like the perfect Superman movie. And I say this because there's no Superman in it.
Yeah.
There's a giant that's, is like 150 feet tall or 100 feet tall or whatever. Gets befriended by a young boy.
Actually, you know what? A good Superman movie would be Superman with amnesia and gets befriended by this boy who knows he's an alien.
Yep.
He fell from the sky.
So The Iron Giant, amazing movie. One of mine and Corey's favorite animated movies.
Best giant robot movie ever.
I think it's up there. It rivals anything Pixar and Disney's ever put out, in my opinion. I love like Wreck-It Ralph and the Lego Movie and
How to Train Your Dragon,
Wall-E, and all these awesome cars, all these awesome movies. But The Iron Giant is right up there with them, both in quality of animation, storyline, characters. Vin Diesel plays an Iron Giant. He says like 10 words throughout the whole thing,
which makes it a good movie. I talked to you about this.
No following. I
talked to you about this. That the less Vin Diesel says in a movie, the better the movie is.
That's why I turned to you when the Witch Hunter trailer came up today, and I was like, "This is gonna suck."
Quiet, just be quiet. I want it to be good, okay?
And then I said, "It won't. It's a fantasy movie that's not Lord of the Rings. It won't do good."
Or Harry Potter.
So far, we have not seen many fantasy movies that do good. Look at Seventh Son, and I can't even remember any others.
It's
like Pan's Labyrinth apparently is fantastic, but no one really went and saw it.
No, that's because it's subtitled.
Yeah,
nobody goes.
But anyways, The Iron Giant might be coming out again in theaters. Brad Bird is starting to. He's kind of pushing for it. He also said we don't know if they're going to do the theatrical re-release. However, we do know they are looking at a Blu-ray release.
You got my $15.
Yeah, oh yeah,
or 20 or however much Blu-ray.
25. I want the Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy combo. Give it all to me. I'm ready for it.
Yep,
I want it.
My body is ready.
They came out with an Iron Giant action figure, and I can't remember. Did I do it a pick a week at one point?
No, I don't remember.
I need to because they came out with this action figure that's so stinking cool.
It's like
$300 though,
and it's exactly what Iron Giant is. It's got every point of articulation that he has in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
They showed it to Brad Bird, and Brad Bird looks at it for about 20 seconds, and he's like, "Can I buy one?"
Yeah.
I mean, because it is so cool looking.
Perfect.
It's so cool.
The next Planet of the Apes movie will be called War of the Planet of the Apes.
So
Wat Pata?
I don't. Wat Pata? Do you like the new Planet of the Apes stuff?
I do.
So you liked Dawn.
I love Dawn.
And then Rise.
And then, yep.
And, okay, because I couldn't remember if you were on the fence.
I think it's Rise and then Dawn, actually.
And then Dawn?
Yeah, because Yeah, it's Rise Then Dawn.
Okay.
Anyway.
Either way, I could not remember if you were excited for them or not, or if you were on the fence about
You
them.
know what? I didn't see Rise of the Planet of the Apes in theaters, the first one.
Right.
And I didn't see it until a lot later. Just because because I had gotten really soured on the Tim Burton.
Tim Burton one with Marky Mark, with Mark Wahlberg as
as Heavy Breather, the Heavy Breather.
Yeah.
But when we watched it, like, I was enraptured. And my wife can tell you this because we had, like, all of her family over. Or not here, but we were over at her parents' house watching it. And
I should have you watch it here on the big screen.
And when Caesar speaks for the first time, she said, like, I was giddy. She would tell you that I was just like, oh.
And the last movie I enjoyed. I thought there was too many humans in it.
Yeah, too much humans, not enough ape.
But I'm glad that they kind of solved that. Humans are kind of done.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, actually, no. The next movie is going to be humans versus monkeys, like, all out.
oh, wow.
Because if you remember, like, the army was coming in.
Oh, that's
at
right.
the end of the
like
last
the
one.
National Guard was coming or whatever.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. So War of the Planet of the Apes coming out. Do we know when it's coming out?
I don't.
2016, 2017, probably.
Probably some in the next couple of years here.
17 or 18, I bet.
But you know what really, like, attracts me to these movies is the motion capture.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's absolutely incredible. That's why I watched The Adventures of Tintin. He was doing some of the motion capture for the CG there because he's playing one of the characters, and it was just like all fantastic.
I think that he should be nominated for an Oscar.
I think he should
for his portrayal of Caesar.
Yep.
I mean, I don't connect with characters that often in movies because they're usually way out there, and I'm like, okay, like Mad Max.
Yeah.
Like today, Mad Max, and anyone in that thing, I'm like, there's nothing about these characters
that I can relate to.
I can relate to. And I'm not saying that's bad. We'll talk about that in a little bit about what we thought about that. But I watched Caesar, and I'm like, I feel for Caesar. I feel for everything that he goes through, and you can just see the emotion on his face. And then it's not a lot of it's digital, but that's still Andy Serkis's face.
Yeah, like they map it and kind of
like
go
they have
off
little
of
dots
it,
and everything. And I thought he played a great Ulysses Claw. He's always fantastic at Golem. Come on.
Yeah, he should get an Oscar for Lifetime, like, because that's what they do with some of these actors who they haven't given Oscars to, like John Wayne. He got an Oscar for True Grit, which was not his best performance.
Yeah,
but they gave it to him because it was his like lifetime Oscar achievement award.
Yeah,
basically.
I think they should do that because he's done a lot of motion capture and he's really good at it.
He was good in Inkheart too. Like that movie did not have a lot going for it.
I've never seen it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty okay. But Andy Serkis.
There's another movie I have never really seen all the way through. The Last Starfighter.
Really?
I can watch like 20-minute chunks of it, and then I have to stop because I'm like, this is terrible. It's like Tron. It's
80s.
the first Tron.
Yeah,
the first Tron is just so terrible.
Anything
the
from the
graphics
80s
and stuff. It's hard, really hard to watch. But anyways, there's going to be a sequel, and I bring this up because The Last Starfighter is actually a really popular sci-fi among like hardcore sci-fi fans.
It's one of the cult classics that they tell you have to watch.
It's right up there with like Fifth Element, Blade Runner, Star Wars. I mean, it is one of those. Enemy Mine, like it's one of those that you should watch.
Yeah,
you should watch. And
even if you don't want to.
Even if you don't want to, yeah. I watched a few movies like that. 2001: A Space Odyssey, perfect example.
Oh my gosh, that movie is so slow.
I think the movie is fantastic in the way that it portrays space travel, characters.
Yeah.
I mean, all that stuff. But it's such a slow-moving movie. But that's Stanley Kubrick for you.
Yeah.
But anyways, Last Starfighter.
Sequel in the works.
The sequel in the works.
There's issues, but
there's some legal issues happening, but they're trying to sort those out. And it looks like
even the creators behind it.
Yep. Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen was talking about he's trying to get it going. The screenwriter actually wrote a sequel 5 years ago for it, but he could not get it greenlit.
Yeah.
Because everyone thought that the rights were with one person. That person says, no, they're not with me. They're with someone else. And it's like going back and forth. Hopefully we get to see a sequel with new updated technology. I'll have to watch the first one to kind of see what happens. But anyway, the whole premise is a kid gets really good at a video game
Well, it turns out this video game is prepping him for an intergalactic war.
Yeah, and so an alien race comes and abducts him and is like, no one else can fly these starfighters like you can. We need your help. It's kind of a dumb premise, but
the guy who did Ready Player One actually came out with another book called Armada.
Okay,
and it's much the same way, where it's kids, like an alien invasion happens, and kids have seen it before in a video game, and they are the ones who are going to save us.
Okay,
so. Now we're on to that sad news that you thought you would.
I saw The Simpsons from the Lego Dimensions title, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, Harry Shearer, the voice of Ned Flanders, Mr. Burns, Smithers, Principal Skinner, and a bunch of other characters on The Simpsons, has decided he's going to no longer be with the show.
So, we talked last week, or the week before. They just renewed their 27th season.
And they're losing half their cast.
Not really, but a good chunk of their cast.
Now,
he turned down a $18 million deal for one more year.
Wow.
Not like for 10 years, for 1 year.
Now, here's the thing. Simpsons has been going on a while. And being a voice actor for The Simpsons means you're doing 6 or 7 characters, which means you always have work every episode.
Yep.
But to be honest, that sounds like it could get grating doing one project. When you want to be an actor and you end up just doing one project for the rest of your life. I know it's like looking the gift horse in the mouth, basically, because you're like, oh, I don't want to make $18 million because I want to be an actor.
I have 2 lines of thought on this. On the one hand, good on him. He'll probably get a job somewhere else being a voice actor. On the other hand, he's going to be known as Ned Flanders, Mr. Burns, Smithers, Principal Skinner for his whole life.
Yeah.
No matter what he does. So you know what? At this point in time, you're almost better off being like, well, $18 million and buy a couple more houses or whatever you want.
Yeah. Exactly.
But, however, eventually people are going to start dying. I mean, the voice of Krabappel, Mrs. Krabappel died, and they haven't brought her back.
She was. I think
she's
they
no
got
longer
rid
a
of her,
character. So maybe all of these will eventually die or move away or something. But they'll find someone else, because guess what? There's a million people. I can go on YouTube right now and I can find Ned Flanders impersonation. And there's a person out there that can do it exactly like Harry Shearer could do, word for word, inflection for inflection.
Yeah.
Every Oakley Dokley the same as his Oakley Dokleys, and
same with Mr. Burns.
And they can come up and be like, "Hey, we'll pay you $500,000 to be the voice of Ned Flanders for a year." And they're like, "Yeah, okay,
yeah,
sure,
sure,
better
sounds
than
good.
It's better than the retail job I'm working or whatever."
Yeah,
but it's just sad that he has to leave something so great.
The other thing that I heard is that Fox, or at least the Simpsons producers,
Fox is ruining it.
No, they are very tight with their actors when it comes to other projects that they want to do. Like, you cannot, you'll be lucky to get another project because they keep a tight ship on their voice actors. They're like, no, we have a tight schedule that we need to keep and everything. So
they almost, it's kind of like they blacklist them a little bit.
A little bit.
So we've got X-Files coming out.
Just a mini-series.
Yeah, it's like a six or 8 episode mini-series. Yes, the Smoking Man will be in it. Mulder and Scully are coming back, the same actors that played them. There's going to be a couple more callbacks to the old series, so if you're a fan of the X-Files, you'll love it. If you're not a fan, these will be sort of new things that you'll be able to get into. Maybe it'll kind of spur you to go back and watch the old ones. But we've got a premiere date, and it's in January.
Which means it's during their winter break for their usual shows.
Yeah, which is great for us. I mean, they did it for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Peggy Carter.
Agent Carter, which was coming back next year in the winter season. And I hear it's taking place in L.A.
I like this idea of they have a main show, and then they've got a side show / spin-off miniseries in between seasons of the show or breaks. That, to me, is awesome. If Arrow decided they wanted to do a side Black Canary 4-episode miniseries, I'd watch it. I don't really even care about Laurel Lance as a character or Black Canary. But if they made a miniseries that tied into Arrow a little bit,
that's something I forgot to put on here, actually. Speaking of Arrow, they were talking about season 4, and Mark Guggenheim, who is the showrunner, says that season 4 of Arrow is going to take a little bit of a lighter turn to it, which is fine.
Stephen Amell tweeted, "I am done. I no longer am going to put on the Arrow costume. Arrow is finished."
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
No, hold on. He is no longer the Arrow, but he will be
Green Arrow.
He's going to have a new costume. Maybe he'll decide to grow a goatee.
I think,
a little small goatee.
I think maybe instead of the hood, he's just going to have the hair. Like to differentiate himself between the Arrow and the Green Arrow.
Okay.
He's just going to go with the domino mask and the kind of, that the new 52 kind of look for Green Arrow, which is fine with me.
Yeah. And he's going to take a lighter, like you said, he's going to take a lighter, because Green Arrow in the comics, he's a sarcastic hero. He jokes all the time. He's the Spider-Man of DC.
Yeah, he is a Spider.
He makes jokes.
Because he knows he's a guy who shoots a bow and arrow. It's like, there's not much seriousness you can do there.
Yeah. And so maybe they'll do this. I would love to see Stephen Amell tackle that role.
And I'd like to see a lighter tone for
It's working fantastically for Flash. The lighter tone of Flash, you've got villains that, there's some deadly stuff, but it's still a lighthearted, fun show.
Now, there is something that we'll talk about later in our trailers and videos that shows the Arrow in his Arrow costume. I might point out.
Okay.
If you remember from this trailer.
I don't remember it, actually.
Don't? You were super excited to show it to me.
Is that... I don't know if that was his Green Arrow costume, though.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyways.
All right. Last thing before we get into the casting couch, because I love saying it every single time we have the podcast. We have a gender-swapped Avengers kind of... This happens every now and then where they'll put actresses in the Avengers roles. And this one is actually really cool.
Yeah, so it's Jennifer Lawrence, Chris Pine.
Is she Thor? Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah, so you've got here we go. Basically, they took all the Avengers characters and they swapped their genders. And they've got actors and actresses dressed up as them. And they look really good, but you've got Agnes...
No. Captain America's Amber Heard.
You've got Kate Beckinsale as Iron Man.
Which she looks fine.
You've got Mila Kunis, Bruce Banner.
Which is a nice choice.
Which is Mila Kunis. She doesn't even look like Banner, though. To me, she just looks like she's wearing normal clothes.
Yeah.
But you've got Jennifer Lawrence as Thor, which I thought looked awesome. Hawkeye is played by Shailene Woodley.
Which is the girl from Divergent.
Yep, the Divergent girl. And this one kind of... Okay, so let's get to your favorite is actually Black Widow is Chris Pine.
Yes.
He looks awesome.
I would love to see a... I'm trying to see who Amber Heard is.
She's the Zombieland. She's number 13. She's the girl that turns into a zombie when the zombie outbreak first starts.
Oh, okay.
Or not number 13.
Number 13.
Apartment 13 or whatever they call her. But yeah. So...
Yeah, so...
But then they did one. Great. Then they did one and I was like, really? Really? They took Loki, probably the Marvel Cinematic Universe's best villain so far.
Yeah.
And the one that everyone loves the best. And they put Kristen Stewart in as him.
Which...
Or her. She looks good. Like, the look is good. But I can't get past her terrible acting.
Like, that if she was Loki, it would be
It'd be horrid.
Bad.
It'd be so horrible.
So bad.
What else is horrible? Spider-Man.
No, I don't think this is going to be horrible. Okay? So we're in the casting couch.
I don't really think Spider-Man is horrible, by the way.
Have a seat on the casting couch. We'll tell you all about the new Spider-Man is reportedly Asa Butterfield. Ender.
Okay.
Now, I want you to take a look. This is a picture of Asa Butterfield with glasses on, like just one of his profile things.
Okay.
From IMDb. Honestly, he looks fine as Peter Parker.
He looks older.
He does.
He looks a lot older in this picture from IMDb than he did.
I think that was part of the point in Ender's Game was making him look younger because he's 18.
Well, in Ender's Game, he's like 10.
Exactly. Yeah. He's supposed to be like 10.
So
but
he is, and this is still an unconfirmed rumor. So we're waiting for like official yes.
Yeah.
But I think he did a great job as Ender.
Yeah.
As far as the acting quality goes.
I'm really wary about Spider-Man now just because of how the last couple movies were.
How it was handled.
Yeah.
But Kevin Feige is now in charge of him.
Which
Sony's pretty much been like, here you go, take the reins.
Yeah.
We still own him, but take the reins, please.
Yeah.
We can't do it.
We don't know what to do anymore.
We had to can everything after because we did such a terrible job with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have that Samuel L. Jackson joins the cast of the Blob remake.
I've never even seen the original.
Neither have I, but I just love it, and I know that when I told my wife that, she was giddy. So because it's a horror movie remake, and she loves anything to do with horror monster movies or anything like that.
Oh, that's just funny because she's so critical about everything else. Yet if it comes to horror, it doesn't matter how bad it is when it's remade. She's all over it.
Yes,
and loves
exactly.
it. I think that's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. So.
And then we actually have some voice casting news for Ratchet and Clank.
Another thing that she loves.
Yeah, and you know what? I've watched her play it because that's what I do. Is these games that she wants to show me, I don't play them. I watch her play them and experience the story through her.
Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, things like that. That we never really owned a PlayStation, so we didn't grow up playing those. We grew up playing, Mario and Luigi and all that stuff, but we didn't really play this.
Which
so.
is it kind of weird that Nintendo hasn't come out with a new Mario movie yet?
A Mario movie?
Yeah.
I think they're still hurting from the last one.
From the live
by the
action.
way, Killer Croc looks like the Koopa from the Mario movie.
Yes, he does.
Anyways,
oh my gosh.
We've got voice cast for Ratchet and Clank now.
So in addition to the original voice cast actors that are from the games, so you can have your game people in there, Paul Giamatti, John Goodman, and Sylvester Stallone will all be on the cast doing parts. So that's exciting.
I'm interested to see where this goes. I love the gameplay style of Ratchet and Clank. I love the really out there guns, that are larger than life, almost literally.
Yeah.
I love Clank as a robot.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this movie, and I'm excited for the Sly Cooper movie. I think they'll both be pretty fun. All right, let's go ahead and move on, and we're actually going to go ahead and get into our reviews.
In this wasteland, I am the one who runs from both the living and the dead. A man reduced to a single instinct. Survive.
All right, if you can't guess by now, we're going to talk about Mad Max Fury Road.
So, this movie, we were excited for it.
Yes, we thought it was going to look crazy. Just be completely.
I honestly
nuts.
didn't have high hopes for it because I looked at it and I was like, it'll be a bunch of dumb fun. Wow,
it was crazy.
It was nuts. I got done the theater and I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
and I've heard that from a lot of reviewers too. Like, I'm exhausted.
You ran
from this movie.
That's why I told to people who ask, like, well, how is it? It's a movie that it starts and it just keeps going. There's no stopping point until the credits roll.
There's no, it's not slow at all.
Yeah. There's no part, like they always talk about the part in the movie that you can leave during and go to the bathroom if you need to, and you're not going to miss too much. Doesn't really have that part.
Yeah. So Mad Max was written by George Miller, who did the original Mad Max trilogy. He was
written and directed.
Yeah. He seems like one of these guys that watched Furious 7 and went, oh, that's cute.
Oh, well.
Let me show you how it's really done. Because let me tell you, the stunts, the things they do.
Which you pointed out to me, all practical effects.
Almost all practical effects. There were very few CG stuff, and that was more just like
we
the environment.
Can't literally do this.
Yeah, we can't make a giant dirt tornado.
Exactly.
In real life. So it stars Charlize Theron. It stars,
and she's really the star of this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Max, played by Tom Hardy, is in it, but he's not really.
It's her story.
Yeah,
and there's been this controversy about this movie, and it's controversy from just a couple stupid people.
Yeah,
it's not very big, so don't worry about this. Everyone's like, oh, it's just a bunch of feminist propaganda. No, it's about a strong woman standing up for a bunch of basically sex slaves.
Yeah.
They're breeders.
Yeah.
They actually call them breeders.
They call them breeders.
In the show. And so she's
I want my property back, says the villain like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Which he was nuts.
Yeah.
He was a weirdo. Man, so weird. I mean, the movie starts, Tom Hardy's character's, I don't know, going pee. I think that's what he's doing.
It kind of looked almost like he was just kind of standing there.
Throws everything in his car, takes off running, and you're thinking you're going to get this big car chase, and 30 seconds later, he's captured him. They find out that he's type O negative, so he's generic or a universal donor is
Yeah.
what they call it. But this movie is insane. I mean, and in a good way, not in a don't watch this, it's dumb and crazy.
Nicholas Holt's also in it, by the way.
And he plays the
his name is Nux.
yeah, the what they call Battle Boy?
Yeah, War Boy.
War
Mhm.
Boy. Yeah, the albino.
Yeah. And
oh, what a lovely day.
exactly.
That
And
guy.
for those of you who don't know, he's in Warm Bodies and he's Beast in X-Men First Class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
There you
Looks
go.
familiar. Now I know. Yeah.
Because halfway through, my wife leans over and she
Also-
goes, "Isn't that the guy from Warm Bodies?"
Also, one of the girls is Cinna from Hunger Games. Who's his character? He's
His
a guitarist.
Lenny Kravitz?
Yes, Kravitz's daughter. It's Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I
the
didn't
short-
think one of
the
them
sh-
looked
the
like
dark-
Lenny Kravitz.
yeah, the dark-skinned, short-haired girl.
Okay.
The cars in this thing.
Just
It's
everything.
insane.
Everything's crazy.
I don't know how to
There are
explain
several
it.
moments that we're sitting in the theater and all three of us just go, like we can't believe that that's happening.
The Nux needs a blood transfusion from Max, and they call him his blood bag.
Yeah.
and he's like, I want to go driving, and like, you can't. You're hooked up to the blood bag. He's like, strap him to the front of the car,
And the
that's
next
when you see
scene-
Max in front of the car with the headgear thing on. and,
Yeah.
like holy crap.
There's a vehicle that's all like the back of it is 6 drummers, and the
Yes.
front of it is a guitarist.
A big old wall of speakers and loudspeakers, and he's got a guitar, and he's just going
He's just playing while they're driving.
while they're
he's
driving,
literally
it's like-
their like drummer boy.
Yes, he's
And
their like war.
It just
war
so happens that
guitarist.
his guitar shoots
Yeah, every
flames
time
out
he
of
hits
it.
certain notes, it shoots fire out of it.
It's so crazy, but yet it's so good.
Yes.
Like it really grips you, and it really does make you feel like
It doesn't have
Apocalyptic.
Did you notice the whole plot?
it.
it's
there
like
wasn't.
it's like 3 sentences long. I mean, the
You
plot
can
is
sum it up in a sentence.
the plot is
Max helps women escape from an evil dictator.
yes,
There.
and they make a 2-hour movie where cars explode, cars flip,
Yep.
people get run over, people get smashed into spikes. I can't even. There's just so much stuff.
They're very tasteful with their choices on that too. By the way,
Yes.
they don't just They're not automatically like, let's just show as much gore as possible.
I
No,
was
they're-
actually expecting that.
Yeah,
I was expecting a lot of gore.
too. But
I think I
every
saw blood
time,
twice.
every time something like somebody would roll under a car, it would cut away.
Yep.
Like you'd see them roll under, or you'd see them hit like a wheel, and then it would cut,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't have anything else.
Yeah. Well, how many stars or how many geek cards?
I'm gonna give it. I gotta give it 5.
I come right there with you.
Yeah, I think there is never a movie that hasn't made me feel like this is an apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like this before, because Walking Dead is kind of like, oh yeah, it's a zombie apocalypse, whatever. You know, they get offset and they go and eat their hamburgers. You know,
Yeah.
not that big a deal. But this is just like, oh my gosh, like everything is terrible.
Yeah.
How is this possible? How can people actually survive in this? And the answer is not well.
There's no water.
No.
Oil and gas is a commodity, and it's fought for, and they call it the Fury Road. That's where they transport the gas back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, all the cars in it, I thought the cars were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The way that they made them, I mean,
They're all hodgepodge
They
together.
got like an old Studebaker with monster truck tires on it. They got the main guy, the big bad guy, Immortus Joe.
Yeah.
He has 2 Cadillacs stacked on top of each other
With
like
giant
8 wheels.
tires.
It's insane.
There was a car with tank treads on it.
Yep.
There's most of them. Like, there's a lot of VW like bodies.
Yeah,
Like, kinda
there's a
that
bunch
round-
of slug bug bodies. There's a bunch of old like 30s cars, Fords and Chevys and stuff.
Yeah.
Really well done. Again, all practical effects. Those cars were all made for the movie. They
Yeah.
were not just
Like
CG'd in a
CG'd in.
computer. You know, they didn't have the spikes. I mean, they really had the spikes
Yeah.
nailed on. Apparently, no one got hurt.
Really?
in the entire movie. Not one single injury.
Wow. They were being very careful then.
I'm sure they have to with the amount of like rust and stuff that was there. You know, everyone
Yeah.
probably had tetanus shots.
Yeah. I think it. What really caught me in the movie the most is the fact that these people they move for so long that jumping along cars is second nature to them.
Yeah.
Like, they repair the vehicle while it's moving.
Yeah.
Because they just, oh my gosh, no. Like us nowadays, you like shut the engine off and make sure that it's all cooled down before you even touch it, guys. You know, you don't want to get your fingers caught in there.
I mean, these guys are like strapping themselves underneath and crawling along the underneath of the car.
Yeah, while it's going 40 miles an hour,
and fixing on it,
80 miles an hour.
It is a ride.
It really is.
It is a huge ride, and like you said, it does not stop.
I think that it would be a movie that I would want to see with D-Boxed.
Yeah,
the little
you
rocker.
could feel it. We were about six seats up or 6 rows up, and you could feel the D-Box seats rocking back and forth and rumbling against the ground. It was like, wow.
Because, you know, the parts where they're on the little wire things and they're dropping down,
yeah.
I mean, that would be insane on D-Box.
The whole thing, I mean, like I said, the plot is not really it's pretty thin.
Yeah.
But it's thin, and it's really set in what it needs to do.
It gives you just enough of this world to make you thirsty for more.
Yes, exactly.
Like, literally. It makes you, because you're just like, what's going on? I want to know what happened to the world. I want to know what, you know, like, what are those people on stilts? What?
Yeah. Why are they walking on stilts through mud?
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's just so crazy.
In the beginning, Max talks about how he used to be a cop from the first one, but he doesn't talk about the second one.
No, this is
Road
between,
Warrior one. So
this is between it. Yeah.
And we knew that before, but a lot of people were kind of speculating, is that really true? Or, you know, he is crazy. I mean, Tom Hardy,
he goes mad.
Your wife mentioned she didn't really like him in this role, but in my opinion, I thought he was great in the role because of what he needed to do. He needed to be a crazy guy.
Yeah, it didn't detract from my enjoyment of the movie.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed it. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 for you. Oh,
all right.
It was crazy.
Yep. And let's go ahead and just relax while we wait for trailers and videos.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Why do you do this?
Because you had love in your hands and you gave it up.
But they would have killed Wesley if I hadn't done it.
Your true love lives, and you marry another. True love saved her in the fire swamp, and she treated it like garbage. And that's what she is, the queen of refuse. So bow down to her if you want. Bow to her. Bow to the queen of slime, the queen of filth, the queen of putrescence. Boo! Boo! Rubbish, filth, slime, muck. Boo! Boo! Boo!
Well, it's not that bad. You don't have to boo it.
Boo!
Boo!
Oh, one last thing we forgot to mention. Mad Max ratings.
Yeah, 98%
Positive.
critics.
Yep, on critics. And then 94 for users. And I can see the users not liking it as much as critics do.
Because it's nuts.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's rough. It is rated R, so you know, be careful if you don't take your little children to it.
Yeah.
Unless they like rated R, I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway,
let's get into some awesome trailers and videos.
Yes.
Some crazy ones came out this week. Some pretty cool ones we found. First one I want to talk about is, and I titled it "A God Amongst Gamers."
And you showed this to me, and I got to agree with you.
So it's a 2 hour and 50-minute long video. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but you should watch like the first 10 minutes of it and then skip through it a little bit. It is a guy that took one controller, plugged it into his computer, and he opened up both Mega Man X and Mega Man X2 and played them at the exact same time with the same controller.
With the same controller.
Yes. Jeez. So both Mega Man, when he hits left, they're both moving left. When he hits right, they're both moving right. When he fires, they're both firing. When he jumps, they both jump. And he's not switching back and forth between the two. He is literally playing it simultaneously.
Oh my gosh, that seems just...
But he does it
really hard.
He beats both games. He beats all the enemies, both games. He does entire boss battles on one screen,
while the other screen
runs through part of a level on the other screen. I'm like, holy crap! I can't even keep up with him.
No,
just watching, let alone if I was trying to play it myself.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I remember playing both those games too, and going, God, they were so hard when I was a kid. I'm sure they're still probably hard now because Like, let's face it, Nintendo games were pretty tough back, and they're still tough because I think they were written that way.
Mm-hmm. Games were a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Because they were meant to challenge people a little bit more, not pander to the lowest common denominator.
We'll have all these up on Wednesday. We'll post all of them, and you can watch through each one of these.
Watch a few minutes of it. You don't really need the whole thing.
Yeah, you don't need the whole thing.
My wife's excited about this next one.
Another horror one.
Yep, she's always excited about horror movies, and I'm always excited to see what Guillermo del Toro brings next.
Yes.
His last one, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which is a horror movie, pretty fantastic, actually.
I have not seen it.
It's really good. It's about, like, evil fairies, basically.
Huh.
It's crazy.
I like Guillermo del Toro. I mean, he's Pan's Labyrinth. Doesn't he do Hellboy?
Yep.
He did Hellboy.
Hellboy.
And he also did, of course,
Pacific Rim.
Yep.
And this Crimson Peak is actually looking like it's going to be just as crazy. A lot of cool...
It's got Loki in it.
Yeah, a lot of cool ghosts and just a lot of cool visuals, which he's known for his cool, kind of unique style.
So the premise is a artist.
Is she an artist?
Yes, I think she's an artist. She marries a guy, Tom Hiddleston, and she goes to his house, and she finds out this house is not as it seems.
Yeah,
the house is so old, it's pretty much alive.
And the house wants to keep her there.
Yep, it has a heartbeat, and the visuals are crazy. It looks really creepy, but not in a way that I would be like... It's all jump scare stuff, because even the part where she's laying in bed and she's all kind of curled up in the fetal position, and this hand kind of materializes out of shadows and touches her, and it's not like an instant thing
where she jumps and everything,
and it just kind of like wraps slowly against her, and she just like terrified,
which is really cool and really unique for a horror movie.
I'm not a jump scare kind of person. I don't really like it. To me, it's kind of cheap. I'm like find a way to scare me without that.
Yeah,
find a way to make me go creepy.
Yep.
The trailer looks really good though. It's 3 minutes long. It's actually a really long trailer. I was surprised.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of creepy,
oh my gosh,
and horrific,
Freddie W from Rocket Jump.
He's a great YouTuber. If you've never seen any of his stuff, he does a lot of like live action video game first person shooter to style things.
Yep.
He does
VGHS, which is Video Game High School. He's got on 3 seasons now.
Yep.
Really funny, really well done.
Yeah.
He made a video called The World's Largest Ball Pit Prank, where he fills up his office with the balls that you would find from like Hardee's or McDonald's or any of those places that had a ball pit when you were kids. Which I was looking at that and I'm like, if I ever get a mansion, I'm gonna have a ball pit room.
Yep.
Maybe not after this though. So he does this ball pit and everyone's having fun, and about 4 hours later they're all getting annoyed with it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a ball pit monster.
And it starts picking them off one by one.
It starts picking them off one by one, devouring them.
And they're all trapped in the room.
The ball pit monster rises up out of the ball pits, and it's a guy in a suit, but the suit is just covered in the balls, and it's creepy. It's creepy looking. And he grabs a guy, and his head pops. And
I forgot about the head popping.
The worst one is when the guy is. You can see the top part of his chest. He's just screaming, and then all of a sudden his legs go back up behind him, and then his own feet break his own neck. I mean, it's really funny, but it's really creepy at the same time.
And there's a good Waterworld reference in there.
And the ending is just beautiful.
Perfect.
It's 16 minutes long, so it's a long video, but you need to watch it because it's great.
Yeah,
and I haven't seen him do anything for a long time, and so. When this came out, I was like, "Ooh, yay! Something from Freddie," because he's been really busy with VGHS,
and that's just how. Unfortunately, that's how YouTube stars go.
Yeah, we got some awesome trailer for video games coming out.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed. I know. What's
here we
this?
Go
like number
again.
8, 7, something like that. This one is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. They released a trailer. They released the profile on the main character that you play. And they also released a 9-minute gameplay video.
I haven't seen the gameplay one yet.
First of all, the gameplay, amazing, like every other Assassin's Creed.
Does it look similar, or does it look...
I'll have to show you.
Okay.
It doesn't look nearly as the same as some of the previous ones. But what's really cool about this, Victorian England.
Yes, like... Actually, I think it's like the 1800s, late 1800s.
That's what it says. It says Victorian England.
Is that Victorian? Maybe.
Yeah. Late 17, early 18.
Yeah, where they're using pistols.
The style, like Jack the Ripper. that era.
Yeah,
that kind
and
of stuff.
it looks really cool. And
he doesn't wear a hood or a mask. He's got a hat. He's got like a gentleman's.
He does at points where he wears the hood.
Yeah, gentleman's like top hat type thing.
And
he goes around and assassins people.
They're basically like a criminal gang in this.
Yeah, and he tries to go around and take over. He has to try to unite all the gangs against the Templar army that controls the city. And that's what he's trying to do, trying to stop them. It looks really, really good, and it always makes me want to buy an Assassin's Creed game, and then I actually play the game, and I'm like, meh, I'm kind of bored now.
Alrighty.
I got Assassin's Creed 3 up on the Xbox, and I played about 20 minutes of it.
You didn't even get to pass the prologue.
I didn't even get past prologue.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, I've kind of seen what I needed to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But no, it looks all right. It looks good. We have a lot of TV trailers, Scott.
We do.
Like, they released here's the TV series coming out next year, and then they released a bunch of trailers for them.
So, we've been talking about Supergirl for months now, that they're going to pick it up, or they're trying to pick it up. They finally did pick up a first season. They just released their first look trailer.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure I like these kinds of trailers, because they're about 6 or 7 minutes long usually.
Kind of go through a lot of the plot.
They almost spoil the entire
I think
first
they did
season
come out with a
first
regular
pilot.
trailer.
Do they?
Like
Now,
a 3-minute trailer.
I have mixed feelings on this. It's
Really?
Melissa Benoist.
She looks great.
She looks great. I think she actually plays a good Supergirl. Okay, I didn't like the first half of the trailer.
Where she wasn't Supergirl?
Where she's this bumbling... I know that that's supposed to be like her analog to Clark Kent.
Humanity
She's
and-
female Clark Kent, basically. But it's way too The Devil Wears Prada, way too Sex and the City-ish, where I work for an evil boss lady.
Yeah.
Cat Grant. And I know they name drop it, and that's supposed to get geeks excited, but it's Callista Flockhart, so Ally McBeal.
And she doesn't look that good anymore.
No,
sorry.
she's getting
getting
up there.
old. But by the second half of the trailer,
I'm excited. By the second half, I'm really excited. I do not like what they've done with Jimmy Olsen. Oh, sorry. Don't call him Jimmy. Call me James. No,
He's a
you're
black-
Jimmy Olsen, buddy.
they turned him to a black guy.
I don't care about that. I don't like the guy they got to play him.
Yeah.
He's like 6'5" and 240 pounds. The guy's
Yeah.
a monster. Jimmy Olsen is not a beefcake. He is not a beefcake. He's never been a beefcake.
Yeah.
Even when he gets like superpowers, he's not a beefcake. He's still a nerdy little ginger. And if you're gonna recast him as a black actor, I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah.
They did it with Iris and the Wests, Iris West and Joe West, and I think it works great.
Yeah.
But at least pick someone that's gonna play Jimmy the way it's. He's played by the guy that played Eggs from True Blood and a couple other things.
Oh, okay.
He's like, he's supposed to be like a hunky guy. Sorry.
No.
I don't like that. I do love. Someone complained about she saves a plane in the trailer.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, ugh. Every Superman movie has to have him saving a plane.
It's like a rite of
I'm
passage.
tired. Exactly. They're like, I'm tired of it. No, that's like a Superman movie TV thing. They've got to save a plane.
You have to save a plane.
The quality of the graphics, I actually thought looked pretty good.
Not
for
too
TV.
bad. Yeah, not too bad for TV.
We do know that they will be crossing over with CW shows.
They said they have no plans for season 1 crossovers.
Probably not, but what I'm hoping for is season 2 or 3. We get Supergirl shows up in the Flash, or vice versa, or Arrow, vice versa, or maybe even in the next one we're talking about. Because that means to me that Superman now exists in this world.
Exactly.
In Flash's world, Superman exists. They can reference him, and you're wondering how they can do this. CBS owns CW. They are the same company.
Yeah.
Or
so,
one's a subsidiary of the other.
Yeah, so because CW stands for CBS Warner Brothers.
Yes.
So
Supergirl, what do you think?
I like it. I'm excited to see it. I'll give it my 3 episodes, and I'll give you my opinion then.
Yeah.
I agree with you that the first look seems a little too much.
It's almost like they spoil. There's so
Yeah.
much stuff in it, though.
My
it's
wife
probably
was like,
just
"Well, we don't even need to see the season anymore."
yeah, it's kind of how I felt a little bit too.
Not like our next one. where we didn't get enough of our next one.
So, Legends of Tomorrow. We finally got the name.
Yes.
Last week or the week before.
It's been rumored a lot, but they finally officially...
What the CW spin-off from Flash and Arrow is going to be called. Where all the characters that they create and make and interact with on the Flash and Arrow...
That they like
are going to get moved over to this. At least at some point in time. We've got Sarah is returning.
Yep, back from the Lazarus Pit.
As White Canary.
And a lot of people were complaining, doesn't that ruin Laurel's journey in Season 3 and everything? No, it does not. And I'm going to say this right now because I got to go on my little tirade here because they did it with Phil Coulson, and a lot of people were like, well, that just invalidates the Avengers and everything. No, it doesn't. Personal growth does not go away just because the character comes back.
Yep.
You know, if you sit there and you stress out about somebody who's been missing for 5 years and you finally come to terms with it and become a better person because of it, them coming back into your life after 5 years...
It's not going to just undo it.
It's not going to make you suddenly back to your usual self.
Agreed.
You know, it's not like where you make an error on your bank slip and suddenly your entire bank account's gone, you know?
So let's run down the cast real quick.
Yes.
We've got... Hawk Girl,
who looks fantastic,
amazing. They actually are doing real wings. She doesn't have technology.
It's like an artifact that turns her into Hawk Girl, I think is what it is.
We haven't really found out, so we don't know if it's that. We don't know if she's an alien.
Hawkman, that's what it was. He had an.
But Hawk Girl's been that, an Egyptian artifact. She's also been an
alien.
Thanagarian cop, basically.
I think we're going alien artifact with this one.
You think so?
Yeah. I just think...
Either way, I'm excited that they're going to show her flying. They're going to show her with her wings.
Yeah.
They're not going to be some stupid fake prosthetic.
Exactly.
You know, they actually are animated. She actually uses them in the show.
Yep.
I don't know if she fights with them. She might.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I mean, if you're...
You got half a Firestorm in there.
Yes, the old half.
Victor Garber.
And Robbie Amell's not going to be in it. He's off doing something else right now.
Yeah, I think he's doing another project. Or...
He's on another TV show.
You've got Brandon Routh's Adam.
As the Adam.
Oh, spoiler alert from the last episode of Arrow, by the way.
Yeah, he's not dead.
Nope.
He actually
we didn't
shrinks.
give him enough time between that.
Yeah, he shrinks. He actually shrinks, which is a little goofy, but we'll see how they do it.
Yeah, it kind of...
I have a feeling they're not going to do that very often.
No.
It's going to be a lot of him as an Iron Man, basically, which I don't know if I like.
Whatever.
We've got Captain Cold and...
Heatwave?
Heatwave, yep.
Is it Heatwave? Yeah.
The same characters. The Prison Break brothers are now playing... You know, like, hey, when we break out of prison, let's go be supervillains.
Yes, exactly.
So they're playing villains or pseudo heroes as Captain Cold, Heatwave.
You've got Rip Hunter, played by the Doctor Who character, guy who played Rory on Doctor Who.
Which, by the way, perfect.
Yeah,
he comes in and he goes, Rip Hunter, I'm from East London. Also from the future, you know, and he's got the trench coat, the Constantine style trench coat.
Yep,
he looks like just kind of like a badass.
He does, and he gets this team together,
and they're like, we're heroes, and he's like, no, you're not.
In my time, you're legends.
You're legends.
Yeah, and their whole goal is to go through time to hunt down and destroy Vandal Savage.
Which right now, so Vandal Savage, if you don't know, he's a immortal man. He's been around since the dawn of man, you know, hundreds of thousands of years.
Yep.
And
he once ruled the world.
He did, yes.
And then people rose up.
He now commands the largest army in the world, and he is their new threat. He's their threat. They travel through time. There's one point where they're in like a
facility,
like a hydro plant or something, and they're fighting, and they get done, and Brandon Routh goes, if that's the best he can throw at us, then we got this licked. And Captain Cold goes, why did you say that? And then boom, a giant robot foot crashes through the ceiling. Someone mentioned, they're like, oh, that's stupid. It's like a sentinel. No, it's a giant robot foot. There's not really much ways you can do it.
Exactly.
So
it's
just stop complaining and be happy that they're doing a giant robot. They're going to fight a giant robot, you guys.
It's like every comic book character's dream. That's another rite of passage, is fighting giant robots.
Yes. I am so stoked for this.
It looks pretty rad.
I love that at the beginning, Flash is in it and Arrow's going to be in it, and they're kind of like passing the torch.
They're saying, look, you guys need to do this. We've been talking with this Rip Hunter guy, and you need to take care of this.
us two are not enough. We need more people. I'm so excited for Hawk Girl. I love the character they got to play her, and she's one of my favorite characters from Justice League. I mean, she's just such a
Her
great
storyline
character.
in that cartoon series was pretty fantastic.
Think their name would be Shayera?
I think her name is actually going to be Kendra, which is the Earth 2 version of Hawk Girl.
That's right.
The one that gets the artifact that turns her into Hawk Girl.
So, Legends of Tomorrow, awesome. By the way, Supergirl, this is how you make a trailer.
Yeah.
Supergirl, it's hard.
I get what you mean.
It's hard
it
to
was
get
too
really
much.
excited for it.
It was too much.
It was too much of the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow is too much of the right thing.
no, it's not enough of the right thing is what it is.
Too much in a good way.
Yes.
So, it looks awesome.
You know what else looks awesome? Lucifer.
I'm not in the fantastically awesome because I'm a little bit. And okay, go ahead and just talk about the trailer. And then I'll
So this is in my wheelhouse. This is why I'm excited for it. Like my current wheelhouse is real life or like Constantine style murder mysteries and everything. So Lucifer is the show coming to Fox that's based on the DC comics from Neil Gaiman. Basically, the devil gets tired of being the devil, and he moves to L.A. and starts a nightclub.
Not just Neil Gaiman. It actually ties in with the Sandman, which
his
is an awesome
famous
comic.
series. Well, he's got this nightclub. He meets this starlet, and they talk. And then at the end of the night, she actually gets killed in a drive-by.
Yes.
He survives because he's the devil.
Yeah. The benefits of immortality.
Exactly.
Is what he says. Of course, he's British.
He's so suave.
He's British.
Yep.
Oh, British. You guys are the devil. One of my favorite parts. So yeah, he's suave.
So he gets with this detective to help track down the killer, and the way that he's helping her is people will tell him things that they don't tell people.
Yes.
Like he's got that way because he's the devil. He knows what your innermost desires are and everything. And there's at one point where they're sitting down in a therapy session, and she is just like ogling him. The therapist,
kind of giddy and stuff.
and she's like, I do yoga, hot yoga. And he just like saying these things right in front of this detective and him, and she things that she's probably usually very reserved with because she's a therapist.
So he has to do this. God is apparently
He's not happy.
Upset that he's left.
Yeah,
hell,
and sends an angel.
And sends an angel.
Azumaman? Malthael? I don't know.
Whatever. It's a black guy angel. He's got black wings, which means he's probably a warrior angel. He's probably not like a...
They're razor sharp, by the way. Those wings are. Which that's kind of how you do Hawk Girl wings, by the way.
Yep.
Let's do it that way, please.
Which kind of... To me, I look at this, and you're excited for it because it's kind of in your thing. I'm like, well, what's the devil doing helping people?
Yeah.
Isn't his point in mythology and stuff to be the bad guy?
Well, that's the thing is he's never cared about anybody before, but suddenly he finds himself on Earth and caring about somebody.
I understand why they're doing it. It's just kind of a hard premise to stomach.
He's
God,
been doing that for 7,000 years, Scott.
Yeah, and God keeps sending his angels down and be like, "Hey, go take care of this." It's like, well, doesn't God have the power to just like flick him back to hell?
Yeah,
I mean, really. So it's just kind of a weird premise for me from historical mythological standpoint on that. However, it does look like a decent show.
Yeah.
It is on Fox though, so
we'll see how it is.
Which is weird because Fox is usually pretty conservative and they don't usually do this kind of stuff. I don't know if it will trend well with audiences. Because
Sleepy Hollow did really well.
But Sleepy Hollow has nothing religious in it.
I think. Well, it's not really about the religion thing. It's about the supernatural.
I know. No, Sleepy
detective.
Hollow is. But this is the devil.
I know.
The devil of Christianity.
I think it's going to do fine.
I'm just saying. Just saying. We do live in America.
Yeah.
We live in a largely Christian population.
Well, we'll find out about it.
I don't know.
Then.
I don't know.
I think you're wrong.
No, and I don't know. I don't know how to do it. That's why the trailer looks good. Check it out. The guy that they got played him. My favorite part from the trailer is actually when she walks up and she goes, "Lucifer the Morning Star."
Yeah, Lucifer.
Is that some kind of stage name? And he goes, God given, I'm afraid. So there's some
There's
funny
yeah.
nods in that. They'll probably quote some funny scriptures and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. The angel's made up. I don't think he's actually in the Bible.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
At the end, a little girl goes, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Lucifer."
She goes, "Like the devil."
And he's
He
like,
goes,
"Exactly."
Yeah.
And like, finally, someone gets it.
Yeah. So there's some funny stuff in it. I'm gonna watch them. I'll give it a couple tries.
3 episodes.
So, yeah.
We have a couple more Fox trailers.
Yeah.
Minority Report,
Which apparently is a great movie. I've
Yeah.
never seen it. Tom Cruise.
and this TV series takes place after that movie is over.
After they dismantled the precog crime division. That's what they called it.
But the precogs are still alive,
Yeah, they still exist. They still have their precog abilities.
and or at least one of them is. We know for sure one of them is.
One of the
And
there's
he's-
3 total.
And he's trying to solve murders.
Yes.
It's a police
And
procedural where he
can't-
can
and
see
he
the future.
He can't get enough of the murder to be there on time.
Yeah.
And because it's actually, I feel kind of heartbreaking when he's running towards the building that he needs to go to try
And
to
he-
stop this girl from being thrown out of it.
And he suddenly his watch goes off like he's
And he
missed
just
the time.
kind of turns around and closes his eyes and gets this sour look on his face, and she gets thrown out, and he's just like, he's like, I can't get there in time. I've never been able to stop one because he only has part of the puzzle. God, sometimes I just can't talk.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It looks like a sci-fi police procedural.
Which if they're gonna do that, come on, Almost Human.
Yeah, Almost Human is great.
It was the same thing. It was so good.
We also had the Frankenstein Code for Fox. This old sheriff dies, and he is the perfect candidate for this test that these two scientists are doing.
Yep, he's got some genetic modification that allows their experiment to work.
Yeah. Like some DNA in him is different. And they basically turn back the clock and turn him into a hot 30-year-old.
Yeah, basically.
And
probably a 25-year-old.
And like every couple of days he has to go back in this tank to get regenerated, basically. So...
And he's trying to solve
his murder
and who...
find out why these people are after his son and things like that.
Yep.
So you were talking about earlier how every show out these days is police procedural.
It's seeming like that.
And I would argue that, well, yes, they are police procedural. They are the TV shows that get the most episodes because it's so easy to do a police procedural episode.
Right. I understand why they do it. I want someone to take a risk. The Frankenstein Code's a little bit... He's still trying to solve his own murder and stop someone from killing someone else. But it doesn't seem like it's a... What do they call it? Episodized or... Episodic series. And it's more serialized. Which means it's probably going to have a lot of episodes strung into one.
And I think that's part of the reason why these companies don't do serial. They do more episodic because then people can pick it up on episode 4 and be like, oh, everything's fine. I know what's going on. I know everything I need to know.
Yep. And then the last TV trailer I think we got on our list.
Yep.
Is a following of the movie Limitless came out in 2011.
We talked about it earlier.
Yes. And they're making a TV series based off of it. And Bradley Cooper will be reprising his role as the main character, as the character that was the first.
He's not the main character in the story, but he
starts it off. And again, this is another police procedural where the guy takes the Limitless pill, becomes one of the smartest men in the world,
and uses it to
help solve crimes.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can see why I'm frustrated with some of this stuff.
No, I definitely can.
Even Flash and Arrow are pretty police.
Not so much Arrow anymore.
They've gone away from that. That's true.
I would say Flash is more of a Monster of the Week show.
Yeah.
For this first season.
But I mean, that
makes it sound bad, but it's really not.
Well, and they're really good because they're just the superhero stuff.
Yeah.
I love them. But I mean, like Castle is one. Half the ones on this list are police procedurals. All the NCISs and CSIs and. Which, by the way, I heard that CSI, the original, is finally done.
Wow.
They're finally ending
after they lost half their original cast.
There's none of the original cast left in it after 16 years of them being on the air.
That's I
remember watching the first few seasons. I loved it. I thought it was great. And then they came out with CSI New York and then CSI Miami. And it's like, Spinoff after spinoff.
I don't
all the Law and Orders
I don't
out there.
really
you know.
care about any spinoff, anything that has to. I shouldn't say that
Yeah,
because
don't say
Flash
that.
and Arrow are spinoff.
Yeah, Flash is a spinoff of Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow is a spinoff of them both. Yeah.
Gem and the Holograms.
Okay, you told me about this
Yeah.
a couple months ago, I think. You
So-
said, hey, they're making a movie of it, and
Old
and
80s cartoon.
Some people were really excited because it was based off an old 80s cartoon, and
then
I'd never seen it.
And then
so
everybody saw the trailer and they went, "This looks terrible."
they said this is
Yeah, because it looks like just another stupid drama sing show
And then I-
about
and then I
getting
go-
too much fame.
And then I go, guess what, Corey? It has a $5 million budget.
And you can tell. It's like half done on laptop cameras and everything.
Yeah, it is not.
No.
Not a show. We watched 2/3 of it, and we both pretty much at the same time were like, "Yep, I've seen everything
Done.
I need to. I'm done."
Yep. Don't really care about
looks
this anymore.
So dumb. It has nothing to do with the cartoon, except for the name and kids get famous.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That is pretty much it.
Yeah.
So go see it if you want. We can really not recommend that one. But you know what? We're not biased. We show everything.
We're very biased.
Oh, that's true.
We are very biased. However, we try to include even the stuff we don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is actually none of the rest of the stuff. The stuff we don't like.
Yeah. Pretty much, I like everything I see.
Dungeons and Dragons and Bitches.
That is the title.
That is the
for
title of
for
this next
yep.
video.
It is a Key and Peele
Key
skit.
and Peele video on Vimeo. So if you like Vimeo, I don't like Vimeo. I'd rather
Yeah.
have them do YouTube, but
Yeah.
whatever. It is is it Key? Keegan-Michael Key
Yeah.
is playing a dungeon master. He's got his nerd voice on.
Which is the worst part of that.
Oh, I hate that so much. The nasally. It drives me
We
crazy.
do not talk like that.
We do not. We may argue the intricacies of who would win in a fight between Aquaman and Namor, but we don't.
Aquaman.
But we don't plug. I agree. But we don't plug our nose the whole time we're talking.
No.
Anyways, and he's like.
He invites his cousin, who's like thug life.
Yeah, he's kind of, which is Peel. I don't know his full name.
Whatever.
And the introduce your character. My character's name is Kanye. He's a giant.
Kanye the Giant.
It's actually pretty funny.
It is
It's actually
really
pretty
funny.
and it does talk about like, oh, that's so stupid. But then he goes, I'm gonna go get me some bitches. Where's the nearest club? And the guy's like, there's no clubs in Istar.
Yeah.
There's no clubs here.
And the other guy's like, I'd like to join him.
I'm going to join him. Go on his quest. It's
really
funny.
good.
Check it out. If you like Key and Peele, which they do some pretty funny stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked their racist zombies.
Tell me about this next one, Corey.
So, Black Angel.
Oh, that show with on Fox that was... Oh, that's Dark Angel. Never mind.
No.
With Jessica Alba.
Nope. Not that one, definitely.
From 1999, I think. Or
Yeah.
A long time ago.
No, this is actually way earlier. This is in the 80s.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be bad.
Maybe. Actually, it might be late 70s.
You know what it looked like when we watched it? It looked like Monty Python.
It did look like Monty Python, and it is a fantasy short. Now, what's cool about this is a short that ran before Empire Strikes Back, that nobody's ever been able to see, but they finally just released it onto YouTube. This is the guy who directed this. His sword fighting style and choreography heavily influenced the style for the first trilogy, where everybody was using broadswords basically instead of waving their lightsabers around fancily.
The trailer's the video's a little long. It's about 29 minutes,
and it's a short movie basically.
Yep.
So if you want to see kind of what inspired George Lucas with this, because Star Wars is pretty much a fantasy epic set in a sci-fi world. So if you're really interested in seeing what kind of spawned all this, you can watch Black Angel and get a little bit of cool. It's kind of a little bit of cool geek trivia.
Yeah.
For you.
I don't know if I'll watch it. I watched a few minutes of it and I was like,
it's pre-1990.
The quality's really low and it's hard to watch.
It's pre-2000s.
I hate saying that because I sound like one of those people that are like,
you sound snobbish.
I sound like a 13-year-old. Ugh, old movies suck.
Yeah.
But I watch
do.
I watch a lot of old TV, like all the old Star Treks, not the originals.
Yeah.
Because they're just super cheesy. But I have watched them. But like Next Generation, They're all 1983 is when it started.
And honestly, it's kind of bad.
Blu-ray?
Yeah. I mean, the Blu-rays are fine, but it's kind of bad.
Yeah, but I still watch this stuff. There's just certain things that I have issues with.
Yeah. But,
you know.
I mean, you can check it out if you guys want.
Yeah. So we talked about Simpsons a little earlier. A company in the UK, I think it's a TV company.
I think they're doing Simpsons syndication now.
Yes. They created they recreated the Simpsons opening where, you know, Homer, the whistle blows and
The plutonium
lands in his shirt, and like they did that, but they did it in
real life.
And I've got a link to it, and we'll link it up. There's not really much else to say, but it's pretty well done.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, looks good.
And then the last, we have two more.
We got two more, both pretty funny. The song
Uptown
Funk,
which many people don't like. I love. I think
it's kind of catchy.
I think it's very disco.
I like the beat to it,
which is kind of that's exactly what I like.
Why people don't like it. It's because it's disco-y. But a group took the Avengers and matched it up with Uptown Funk, and it's called Ultron Funk You Up.
Yep.
So it's actually pretty funny. What was the line that you were?
It was stop. Wait a minute. This movie needs a little Loki in it.
Yeah, and then Loki's there.
Yes.
But it was girl Loki, I think.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was
a girl playing.
Yeah, it was the girl playing the character. It's really well done. It's surprisingly well done for a parody.
Yes,
it's sometimes YouTube parodies.
Their costumes are
lackluster.
horrible, but
so bad.
But they're funny. Then the last one, but definitely not least, 8-bit Captain America Winter Soldier.
We've talked about these 8-bit videos before, The Walking Dead seasons 1 through 3 and whatever, and all these other stuff that this company basically comes out with one, or this YouTube channel comes out with one every week, from what I understand. And Winter Soldier is on par with all of the rest, and you realize just how little action there is in Winter Soldier because they do all the action scenes in like 3 or 4 minutes.
That's true. Yeah.
And they skip a whole lot of the non-actiony stuff because they don't need to have it in there. So,
but it's funny to see 8-bit Captain America running around throwing his 8-bit shield at 8-bit Winter Soldier.
It's really cool
with 8-bit music. I love the music.
I would play that game like over and over again.
If any of you listeners out there are good at making 8-bit style music, come talk to us, please. We want a kind of a background music that we can play during this show, and it can just quiet in the background. But I want kind of like a calm 8-bit style.
Yeah.
I really love the way that is. Or if you're not good at 8-bit and you like 16-bit, same kind of thing. You know,
I can only work in double the bit.
Yeah, I can only double the bits. Sorry. I've never figured out how to half the bits. I haven't figured it. But go check them out. 8-Bit Theater, funny stuff. They got a lot of videos on there. So let's go ahead and get into our next section, our picks of the week.
Thank you, Trisha. We now return you to Robin, Boy Wonder.
Hey, don't worry. I'm here.
Robin? They sent you?
Yeah, everyone else was busy, so they sent me.
What the hell are you gonna do? You don't have any superpowers.
I got a cell phone. Oh, no bars.
All right, it's time for our picks of the week.
Yeah, poor Robin. No bars.
He gets the shaft, that's for sure.
Yep.
Do you want to start or do you want me to?
I'll start. Okay. Sure. My pick of the week this week is something that I actually kind of refound. It's called Chasing Artwork. At least that's the artist's name.
Mm-hmm.
This guy
takes
our superheroes or characters we love. Like there's an Optimus Prime one. Like that's awesome.
Link and Dark Link.
Yeah, there's a Mega Man one in there.
Gotham
all the
Gears.
Avengers, Gotham stuff. And he takes them and turns them into robots.
Which look fantastic.
They are that one.
Hellboy.
I need that one.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry. All the turtles are robots.
Doom. Oh my gosh.
There's so many. And I found his DeviantArt page. And holy crap, this guy is amazing. He has a shop section, so you can buy a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And he doesn't just do these gear ones.
Correct.
He does a lot of gear ones, but he also does these other artworks where he's got his own Casey and Tonks
Cassian Tonks.
Sorry, my wife's name is Casey. So he does just a lot of good different non robotic ones, but the robotic ones are absolutely
There's
amazing.
Ultron. How amazing is that?
So cool.
So I'm going to post a link, obviously, to this later in the week, along with Corey's as well. We'll do
I know.
this another day.
We found him about a year and a half ago, and we thought he was fantastic. And then we were walking around Comic-Con, and we look over and we see these pictures, and we run up and we're like, "Oh my gosh, we found your artwork so long ago, and you are absolutely amazing." And he's like, "Oh, I'm glad you guys liked it," because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
And he came down and like we bought at least 3 prints a piece.
I hope
from
that
him.
he's here this year. I bet he will be.
Yeah.
I hope that he's here because I'm going and I'm getting Hellboy and I'm getting Ultron.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to spend a whole bunch of money there. His art is amazing. I love robots, and I love that he has taken stuff. Look at the final boss one right there. That is Sonic versus Dr. Robotnik in a giant mech suit.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He does absolutely amazing with all of these ones.
I can't say enough good about him. The guy is a fantastic artist. It's called Chasing Artwork. You can go to chasingartwork.deviantart.com. He has a store on this as well, and he cycles through his art prints to be available. I wish he made all of them available. I don't know. I don't get why people don't do this on DeviantArt. If I was an artist, I would make every single one of my things available for printing.
It's kind of a...
And
I think it's a volume thing, because they probably say, "Oh, we've got a huge demand for our Thor, or Robo Thor."
But go look at him though.
You know,
there's ones up there at the very top. If you click on prints, which you can actually buy, he doesn't have any. He's got the Gotham Gears one, Joker, and a couple others, but he doesn't have much more than that. Like he doesn't have a whole bunch of different stuff. He's got some cool dragon ones that he did too.
That's really cool.
The guy he's just amazing. I can't say much. I can't say anything bad about him. Everything, even stuff where he does like Final Fantasy characters and reimagine them as robots.
Yeah,
like Cloud and what's the other one? The guy
Sephiroth.
They're amazing. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's chasingartwork.deviantart.com. Go check him out. Buy from him. Support him. If you are here in Utah and he's at Salt Lake Comic-Con, stop by his booth.
Yeah.
Tell him what you think about his artwork. Hopefully good things. Hopefully you're not a jerk. But and buy stuff from him.
Yeah.
Because
I bought at least 3 or 4 prints this last time.
Oh, I know, I did too. He's got the one where it's Baby Groot and it's growing into full-size Groot.
Yeah. He's got a great Lich King. One that I bought from World of Warcraft.
Just brilliant. I'll post a link again this week. So check him out. And you can also add his artwork like we do.
Yep.
Well, go ahead,
everybody knows that I am a huge fan of old 1950s vintage stuff.
Yes.
And anything like Red Panda, I freaking love Agent Carter because of that.
I want a tattoo, and my nod to you in this tattoo. This is going to include a 1950s style rocket ship in it.
Nice.
Flying through space.
Absolutely
With
awesome.
the bubble windows, the pointy front with the rings around the front thing that are floating above it, kind of a la the Jetsons style stuff.
Have underneath it that says, of all the space stations in all the galaxies, she had to walk into mine.
No, not that particular, but that would be anyways, because you love that 1950s stuff.
I do. And this is a gentleman by the name of Rob Pratt, and you can find him on YouTube. His name is Rob Pratt, or his username is Rob Pratt. ROBPRATT, all one word.
You may not recognize the name, but you'll recognize his work.
Yep, he is a Disney veteran who has done things, who has done artwork for Pocahontas and animation for them, as well as the TV show Kim Possible. And that's kind of where you know him a lot better from, because that's kind of the style that he developed.
Yep.
Well, he's been spending his time lately animating things that he loves and he enjoyed as a kid. And he's doing classic versions of Superman. He's done a classic Superman and a classic Bizarro Superman.
In other words, he's a geek.
Yeah, he's a geek.
Now we get to be treated to animated versions of these 1950s style.
Yeah, like current animation looks fantastic. Reminds you of the old serials and everything. And he did the latest one he did. What drew my attention to him is Flash Gordon.
Yes,
he did a Flash Gordon tribute, which pretty much is how Flash Gordon is. I mean, he
talks about having a touchdown, and facing the Emperor Ming, and going to planet Mongo.
But yeah, go check him out, Rob Pratt on YouTube. Fantastic stuff.
He's got like a Superman Classic, Superman Bizarro, Flash Gordon,
and he's actually got 3D versions of them too.
Wow,
at least of the Bizarro and the Flash Gordon one,
like 3D animation style.
No, like full on. Put on your 3D goggles, folks.
Cool.
You know. Well,
fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's going to do it for the Acts of Geekery podcast this week. If you have any suggestions that you would like to give us, if you know somebody who likes to do 8 or 16-bit music,
send them our way.
Yeah, you can send them to our email or actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
You can also go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/actsofgeekery. You can leave us a message there or comment on one of our posts.
We post stuff there all week, including all of our pictures and videos and our picks of the week. So be sure to give us a like on there. Go to twitter.com. We are at Acts of Geekery, or just use the hashtag Acts of Geekery if you want to talk to us. We'll find it.
Yep. Go to iTunes as well. This is probably the easiest place to download the show. Download it off iTunes. Give us a star and review. The more stars and the more reviews we get, the higher in the rankings we go, and the more people find us, and the more geek listeners, or the more of a geek family we build.
Yep, and the more we can do for you. Yep. And of course, you can also go to YouTube. We have all of our videos up there. You can leave a comment there, or if you have a question, you can leave it there as well.
Like and subscribe. And those are all ACTS, not AXE.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me, Scott.
Thank you, Corey, for joining me.
It's so great to have you around. But until next time, I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
By the power of Grayskull!